We're right uptown.
We're gone.
Okay.
All right, so we will call our meeting to order, Lookingglass Rural Fire District, February 12th. And we will start with our pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, how about that? It's a proposal.
It is. I love that.
It's in the name.
It is.
Okay. All right, and then I'll open us with a prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us all together. Thank you for watching over us and our community. And let's just say we would love to have your hand and guidance to unity in this country, and let's stop all the division and fighting. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
And then roll call. Paul Reardon here. Mark Bennett is out. Bill Starnes.
Here.
Rob Icola.
Here.
David Smith.
Here.
Steve Rhodes.
Here.
Justin Fox.
Here.
All right. Any additions to the meeting? The monthly agenda?
I think not.
Okay. All right, so we're going to start with approving January 8th minutes. I wasn't here, but we got a
So
motion.
we have to abstain. What about you guys? You guys gotta look at it and make sure it's okay?
I make a motion to pass it.
Okay.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, minutes approved. Okay, financial report.
Let's see. We wrote a lot of checks. Total expenditures was $10,730.09. That leaves us a balance of $8,345.37 into our, no, that was our deposits, I'm sorry. Let's see.
Clear balance. Balance is 2,300.
Is that what it is? I don't see it out here. And so we have, in a check, money market, we have $181,844.61 in our money market account. I'd like to have a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make a motion to pay bills.
All second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Motion passes. Okay. Do we have a communications report?
Just I'd like to ask you guys if you want to look at our website. Justin's been doing a heck of a job. There's all kinds of stuff on it. We had 2,100 and some hits again last month.
That's all.
2,163 or so. It's a little bit less than I think we went before.
Yeah, Justin, you wanna break it out, and
We're gonna.
how would we do it? I don't see a TV or anything.
Yeah, what's gonna happen here is we can talk about that during
Eventually that TV will
the
be
business. There is gonna be you guys are gonna have a TV and a whiteboard here behind you very soon. We're working on upgrading that. We got the training room upstairs pretty well set up, and this is where we're working on this one now. So you got a coffee machine and an espresso machine.
That's all
so
that
you
matters.
guys all-
Yeah.
I got all
You're
the
gonna have a
basics.
microwave pretty soon. Anyway, okay, that's the financial report. That's the financial.
So we'll worry about communications
Yeah.
next time we can and look at it. But thank you, Justin, for all your work.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. All right, do we have any public comments on agenda items? Public has no comment today. So that brings us to chief's report.
So January, we had 24 calls, half of them were medical. One a commercial structure fire we responded to, not in our district, 6 MBAs, 3 false alarms, public assist, and hazardous condition. The firefighters, we're doing a lot of, oh man, my whole training section came out of there. I muted that, I'm sorry. I'll work on that in a second. But anyway, the firefighters are doing a lot of the online training. Justin's got us all doing our OSHA training and everything online, so that's going on. The 1852 physicals, we're still doing that on the Safer grant. It's not a very easy process. We have a lot of billing issues going on with OcuHealth for reason. Every time we send somebody to do a physical, they do it different, they charge us a different amount. Usually it's less, thank goodness. But we're just trying to figure it all out. When I send that to Safer for the grant, I have to be able to explain to them what they're paying for, and every time it's different, they're kind of going, well, what are we paying for here, you know, so
Right.
we're figuring that out anyway. Lookingglass firefighters assisted with the school skate night the other night, and they're gonna be helping us with the Grange bingo. Training wise, last month we did, they did auto extrication, right, Justin? We did 2 nights of CPR recertification. We have the 3 students that are still in EMT going through Umpqua Community College, and they're going up to North Douglas Fire Department each week. What other training, I forgot. Oh, we did a PPE and a SCBA training with all the new guys while you guys were up at North Douglas last week. And
hazmat incident commander last weekend.
oh, yeah, okay, yep. Oh, and then Tim's, traffic incident management, we hosted that state class here. We hosted it upstairs, that was really good. We had state police here, dispatchers were here, departments from pretty good, spread out from all over Douglas County. And they would kind of review the laws and the procedures for, and DOT was here actually, their DOT put it on jointly with the state police, and laws and methods and safety and everything on doing, not only highway accidents, but just the state highways and everywhere else. It was real good, a really good deal. You want to say something about that? It sounds like you did.
We had tow operators here.
Oh, tow truck operators too. So we had people from everywhere. And I think we addressed some issues. The only people that were having any issues were probably tow operators, and they got to express their opinions, so it was cool. So we're all working, hopefully we're working together. Let's see, cadets have been training with our firefighters, and Justin, 1 or 2 of our cadets are just about 18. We've already got, one of our guys is a standout, and evidently Central Douglas is already trying to steal him. They're gonna get a mentor and try to groom him to be one of their firefighters, so we're trying to fend him off, build a fence or something. He's a real good kid, so he's gonna do real well. On equipment, 1030's air valve and stuff, we're still having issues with the air leaks and stuff. The turbo controller was Cummins was ordering it. It was going to be months away. Somehow it got canceled, so now we're waiting for it to come again. In the meantime, we disconnected the air compressor on the unit because basically it's running all the time, so it's going to burn the air compressor up. So one of the first things we do when we come in is fire it up and build up air pressure while everybody's getting dressed and everything. 1080 still has some problems related to DEF and miscellaneous engine codes. I don't know what the solution to that's going to be. We never got satisfaction out of Ford, so I don't know where we're going to go next. I've heard some really high dollar solutions to what you do with DEF, but it just doesn't make sense.
What rig is that?
The new brush truck. And then I know that Central Douglas, we were talking with their mechanic, Tyler, that comes here, and they're actually going away from diesel engines now. They're going back to gas engines, the E10s and stuff, because they don't want to deal with DEF anymore. And they're replacing, as units break down, if they're gonna keep the unit like the medic units, they're putting gas engines back in instead of diesel.
Is it that the DEF stuff is just too harsh on these diesel motors? It's just the EPA regulation, Clean Air Act is just destroying the motors?
Our system, you have to drive it all the time.
Yeah, somebody said that you should
We
get
don't
in
drive
and
it.
get in and drive it to Eugene and back once a week.
To blow it out and
Just to
clean
get
out
it
the
cleaned
motor.
out,
Right.
And I've heard, normal, people like us driving them, even they're having trouble because they're not driving enough to run the system the way it's supposed to be, so.
Interesting.
A vendor came down to measure for more PPE through the Safer Grant Program. We still waiting for VFA grant. We have some helmets that are coming and bought some new training equipment for the room upstairs and racks for our new storage room. And we're gonna be working on some stuff for this room now. The finish work's still going on through the spring. They're not gonna be doing any more painting, especially the outside paint, until springtime. ADA parking spaces were done. You guys see them out there, they're wonderful. The final billing I'm doing right now, there's been a little bit of delay on, we got some bills that were after December 31st and the state's not gonna cover them. So we've been working back and forth with ZCS and Vitus to figure out who's covering those, because we're not covering them. So, they just came in late, I'm not sure why. But, and then there's some other paperwork that has to be done, some final reports and stuff. It's all in a file. I gotta just push the button on it, but we were waiting. ZCS and Vitus are supposed to get together to figure out these. There was some last minute changes and stuff that were billed after the December 31st date. So once they figure that out, I'm gonna hit the button and send it all out. So the last reimbursement's pending. As soon as that happens, that'll be the last one. We're working with a grant writer for the CWDG grant. That's a fuel reduction grant. It's due February 28th. I'm working with them right now. We've changed it a little bit. It's going to be a little bit more, the grant we're requesting, and we're going to contract everything instead of buying equipment for ourselves. It seems like the federal government doesn't want you buying big equipment, because after the 2 or 3 or 4 year grant, you have to account for that big equipment stuff. They'd rather pay contractors to do it. So one of our guys, Bo Cummins, does this as a living. That's his normal job. And so he's writing me out everything that it would cost for a contractor to do this work, to come in and do the clearance around people's houses and all that kind of stuff. And doing it that way, we'll have a coordinator, a part-time coordinator here, setting it all up, but other people will do all the work. So if the government gives us some money, then that's the way to SDAO insurance bill is due. I'm gonna not have us sign that tonight. It's not due till March 1st. I'm gonna dig it up and make sure that everything's right. They changed the totals. They dropped about $1,000 on the price, and I'm gonna get the updated one and just have some. You guys can come by during the month and send us some. We'll mail it off and get it on town. Continuing the audit process with Hanford Associates. Our website, there's a lot of good information on there, and Justin's really working hard on that thing. A lot of new pictures. They had a pretty good, at auto extrication class, they got a lot of good pictures on that. The May election stuff's in, so I don't know if you guys are gonna run again.
Who's up?
It's Rob and Dave and Mark. So if you are, we just have to file again. So
That's a deadline.
Is there any other volunteers on the way?
not yet, but I mean, we can dig somebody up if you guys want to. You've done your 4 years, right? I'll get a hold of you each
Okay.
individually, and then we can find, if we need to, we can find some more folks. It's good to get more people involved. Storage containers. When we went, we're cleaning out the storage containers, and everything's gonna come in. Which Haley, they would rather, we'd get credit for the rent we've done, so they were asking us if we want to buy them. And so we've been thinking about the big one that we have out there, the big white one, putting it on the other side of the pole structure and building a roof or something across there, so we have a 2-car garage and storage for that. And then looking at one of the used ones out there as a burn container to do our own burns here. That trailer's gonna be going back to North Douglas here pretty soon. And then we also have some long-term storage needs for our records and all that kind of stuff. So they're asking $9,500 for all 3 containers. I have about $8,250 that was budgeted in our budget for improvements here for the station that didn't get done during this whole SIDMIC grant. So I'm looking at trying to buy at least a couple of those containers and get them put out there in the place and use them for storage around here and training. So I don't know what you guys think about
What's in
that.
lieu of rent? So how much rent has been paid on it?
So we paid about $9,000 in rent on it. So they give you half of the rent you paid as credit towards the purchase. So
But it's on top of that though, it's like 13 then? So
Well,
you're saying it's not?
they were worth about $16,000, and so he's asking $9,500 for all three of them. And
So you can negotiate it, because you can buy them a lot cheaper now.
yeah, the thing is that one is brand new, that big white one. The other ones are used, and we actually,
Still negotiate.
I want to trade them down in because we don't want to use a new one out there for something we're going to just burn up anyways. And they have rusty ones and trashed ones, so they're sitting on this lot. So I'm just letting you know that we're looking at doing that.
Are those like the big one you want? Is it insulated or does it sweat on the inside?
We haven't had any issue with this sweat. That one is that's where we've had all our turnouts and everything all the time. We haven't had any issues with that at all. And they're airtight.
I have a 40 footer, it doesn't sweat. I've had all kinds of, stuff in there for years, and we moved it all out. After 5 years, it was fine.
They sealed up pretty good. It's the
Yeah.
same containers that go over, over the ocean.
Yeah,
They seal it real good.
So, I'm gonna work with them about what we can do out here. Before the end of February, we gotta kind of decide which way we're gonna go with that, so. Otherwise, I gotta get them out of here. The new training room and the boardroom here has come along. Maybe after we have a meeting here tonight, if you guys wanna walk up the stairs and see what we're doing up there in the storage room. And then, like I said, we're gonna try to set this up with a whiteboard and TV down here. We have another TV that's been donated, and then gradually we're trying to make them. We're not going to hoard a bunch of crap, and I guess that's okay to say. We're going to try to make them nice and functional, and not have so much stuff laying around here all the time. So just make them usable. This is going to be kind of a second office in here with the laptops and stuff for people to come in and do their training in here also, if we're not by either in the office up there or upstairs. I've got about $23,000 out right now for reimbursement for Safer. When as the election changed and everything, they stopped grants for a few days. It kind of paused everything. And it was only 3 or 4 days that happened before it got turned around. But that, just by that little pause, it made things a lot longer than 3 or 4 days. But they promised us the money's coming. It's just not here yet. I talked with Bill tonight, so this is going to be on next month's financial report. We transferred some money across to cover that until that comes back. And
Did you get that done already then?
yeah.
Okay.
And then, so I think that's about it. Justin, I know I missed something. What's going on out here?
AO Academy's coming up,
Oh, I probably saw Operator Academy.
Rope Ops is coming up, CPR renewal over a weekend. One of the things that I'm getting ready to do is start like a Saturday, Sunday drill so 3 of our people that respond to quite a few calls are gone and they're missing drill, but they're still getting drill hours because they're going for training. It's unfortunately only not unfortunately, so it's medical training, but they're not getting the fire side of it. So one of the things that I've asked is if they would like a Saturday, Sunday drill, and then we have a couple other people that can't make the Thursday nights, and that's been keeping them from attending Thursday drills. If they would like a Saturday, Sunday drill, and they've all said yes. So here real soon, we're getting ready to do that because Winter Fire School is coming up, and that's in Salem. Inspector 1 and 2 is in Eugene, and that's a week-long class, the 10th through the 14th, all over the
Okay, so I think we're done with Chief's report, and we're on to old business, which we just covered a lot of, the seismic grant, construction reimbursements and final submissions, the OFM water and tender update, the 1030 repairs, safer program reimbursements, CWDG grant, and the TIMS training.
The water tender update, just wanna say that the state came out, there's some rules we have to keep that thing, and keep it ours, we have to do certain things. So they just finally came out with the maintenance, they want maintenance done on it every year, and they just came out with the schedule, the maintenance schedule for that vehicle, and then they provide us $3,500 a year to do the maintenance. So all we have to do is keep up on the mileage, schedule it for, like, we've been using mobile diesel, and so schedule them to do the maintenance, and then bill them, and then that money, we bill the state, and the state will reimburse us, so.
Is that just basically keep the pump and stuff?
Yeah, and most of it's Freightliner, just maintenance on everything. Lubrication, we gotta keep up on the tires. We're not gonna put the miles on it to change tires, so it's gonna be every 7 years, we're gonna have to put a set of tires on it, that kind of stuff. So, save the program, that was normal, so, okay.
So then we're on new business,
Yeah.
so,
They gave us a punch list, which was all the little things that they had done, and they had left to do here. They've done maybe 2/3 of them. There's still some stuff floating around. The painting on the doors is gonna be, there's some blocks and walls that need to be painted. Anyway, we have a list that before the very final reimbursements for about $95,000 or something, and that, we're gonna hold that in our account until everything's done through May or something. So, that's just, I don't know, I guess we'll hold them for ransom or something until everything gets done.
that's just the 10% retention or whatever, 5% retention.
Yeah, and we talked about storage containers and May elections. I said I'll contact each of you guys. Just kind of thinking about the budgets coming up in 2 or 3 months, so something to think about. Have to start doing that again.
Get us all jazzed.
So then, upcoming training, which Justin kind of covered a minute ago. Is there anything else that?
This Thursday, we're doing the agility test. It's kind of one of those that a lot of people don't realize that firefighters have to do an agility test, and it's to prove that they can still do the actions needed to fight fires. It mimics basically fire ground, so like one of it is a farmer's carry with 2 5-gallon jugs of foam, which is roughly about 60, 70 pounds together. That have to carry 100 feet. It's to mimic carrying tools that are heavy, you know, how you would carry them. The other one is raising the ladder, doing that by themselves, a 24-foot extension ladder. Raising the fly of an extension ladder, so extending the extension ladder out all by themselves 5 times and lowering it without losing grip of it, doing it the correct way. Tire hits to mimic cutting through a roof with an axe or, you know, forcible entry. Dummy drag to drag somebody out of a situation they shouldn't be in. Tire flip, which is also to mimic using your lower body to lift somebody up and out of a window. And then pike pole raises, and eventually we'll get to the pike pole pull downs, which is for overhaul, you know, tearing through the ceiling, pulling sheetrock down. A lot of people don't realize how exhausting it can be, and it can be very exhausting. And all this is done in turnout gear with the pack on. We're not making a mask up, but it's at least wearing all the gear that they would have to wear. And then, I forgot the 2.5-inch hose raise, where a 2.5-inch roll of hose will be tied to a rope, and you'll have to hoist it up to show that you can do that, and then lower it back down in a controlled manner. So it's all about safety. It's all about making sure people can do this stuff. So.
Okay. So then do we want to talk about storage containers, or are we pretty much done with that?
I think so, we're just gonna negotiate with them and see what we got, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a purpose for all three of them? Is that kind of the challenge?
Yeah, we have we've been trying to set up outdoor storage for the vehicles we got that are sitting out in the weather. So that's the one going along the pole structure would create basically a garage or carport for us. One of them would be a burn container, and the one that we use out there by the pole structure, we can wall off part of that because we're gonna need some deep storage for files and stuff. We're carrying files here from 1984 or whatever when this place was incorporated that we have to keep. And right now we have them upstairs. Oh, I can show you where we're gonna do that stuff, but I don't want to have our storage areas and our PPE and all that stuff being junky anymore. We're trying to keep it organized, and we got a guy that's doing that right now. So we do have a use for each of them. I think we can get away with 2, but if they can do us a deal for 3, then I'd keep that too. I'm kind of wanting to trade out one of the nicer ones. Like if they're gonna come down here anyway, bring us a junky one and take one of your nicer ones back or something, give us a break on it, that'd be nice. Cause all we're gonna do is burn it up. You know, I mean, we're gonna burn all the paint off it for sure. So, yeah.
All right, and then, of course, you guys know May elections, which you'll get a hold of.
I'll talk to you guys and talk about the deadline, yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm sure somebody else on Larson Road wants to be a next.
It'd be a pretty good recruiting center.
I think about everybody else there's been on it so far.
Larson Road, probably.
Yeah.
They got some new young kids out there.
I don't know.
We saw them at the Grange last night. So.
When's the next bingo? Like
22nd. So
Week after that.
that was something that was in my training deal I didn't show. So the 22nd, we're going to be supporting that here at the fire department. We've been trying to support them and the school and vice versa. Justin still, we're trying to do a meeting with them to get them to be kind of a support team for us too here. So it's going to be a big deal. I think we got 3 loads of gravel been donated for raffles and silent auction and then a bingo prize and a bunch of good stuff. And the Baptistas up there on Larson Road are cooking enchilada dinner for everybody for free, donation only, and that's from 6 to 8:30 or something on the 22nd, Saturday night the 22nd. It's gonna be a good deal, yeah.
Nice. Let me borrow your pen for a minute.
And and that's our annual fundraiser. Basically, not only the maintenance of the Grange, but we try to do 2 $1,000 scholarships each year for kids, based on sort of tending towards rural or agricultural stuff. Last year, Kyler Middleton he's a kid from Douglas High that they own like a Century Ranch down there on Brockway, and he's going to go to school for ag business to try to bring their ranch back to being a productive ranch again, because it's been for one generation it hasn't been. And then the other one was Jenna Chandler, who's like the FFA president for Douglas High School and Camas and all them. She's in vet school, so anyway, we try to do that every year. We try to do 2. I wish we could do 10, because last year we had 9 applicants, and they were all good, man. It was like trying to figure out. It's really hard.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, I know, but it's a bad problem to have too.
Yeah.
Because they're all everybody's good kids. You know?
All right, so we're on to President's report. I have nothing to report. Do we have any directors' reports?
Nope.
Further board member comments? Public comments? Next board meeting will be March 12th, 2025. If I can get a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I make a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, meeting adjourned.